basically the main thing that you have to understand about all the AI tools out there is like they are more like predicting engines than like actual users who understand the subject and things like that. Yes, at some level they do understand the connection between topics and words and content, but ultimately at the end of the day they are predicting engines, right? So it's all like how, like for example, if you look at OpenAI or LLMs in general, what they do is like they try to predict what is the word that comes next after the previous set of words. So when that is done, it can be like just like any other prediction. Let's look at something like our election prediction, for example, our exit polls. Even though there are so many agencies and institutes and all of those things working behind the exit polls, rarely do we get the exit polls correct. It's always has been like, even the recent one, the exit polls missed by a huge margin, right? So there is a lack of information, there is a lack of context, there were missing information, there were missing instructions, the instructions may not have been properly followed, there have been like things that many pundits guessed wrong and things like that, and all those led to the exit polls being incorrect, right? So similarly, you can think of AI engines which are again predicting prediction engines. They could also suffer from all of these issues. So because of that thing, there might be some missing information or some issue which may lead to things being generated which are completely wrong. For example, there is this like case that happened, I think, in the UK, in which the lawyer generated references using OpenAI, ChatGPT, and then what happened is like it started generating random references from random papers and random cases and everything, and compiling it together to create a reference section. So when the judge actually went through the reference section, he found that some cases did not exist and some cases had no connection with this current case at all. Why did that happen? Because probably because every time the first reference or first line in the reference was mentioned, there was some other paper that was mentioned along with it. So as a prediction engine, it always predicts like, so whenever this line comes up, 99% chance that the next line is this reference, right? So such a case will exist, and then that led to it generating random references or adding random references to pages. So all of these things are what we call as termed as hallucinating. Most AI, like even if you look at image processing or image generation, like language generation, text to audio generation, all of those things do go into some of these issues. So so just like I mentioned regarding the exit polls, the best way to unlock or solve all these problems is to clear off or clear most of the issues that I mentioned with the exit polls. That is, you should try to be comprehensive as possible about your instructions. You should provide examples of your generation. You should try to give, like, if you are writing a prompt, that prompt should be very clear about what needs to be generated. It should try to define it as much as possible. It should try to take into account all kinds of information. For example, don't just say I need an image of a car. Instead, if you are try to be more specific, like I need an image of a car, a sports car, it is blue in color, and so forth, then the instructions are much more clear and much more specific. So all of these things combined together will reduce the possibilities of hallucination. But ultimately, the most important thing is human review. Like the image, the models are not at a level currently at which you cannot say that everything that they generate is going to be 100% correct. So you need to make sure that you are reviewing the process. There's some review process set up to make sure that the generations are correct and you are validating it, and then only the validated output is only sent to the user, so that really helps. And one part of it to make it easier is to do testing. Make sure once your application is ready and like it's working, make sure you test it to understand understand where it is failing, what are the edge cases and everything, and try to like do prompt engineering and other such techniques to make sure that such issues and edge cases are removed.